Hi, everyone. Welcome to Coach Me If You Can. I'm your host, Talal, and I'm joined by our resident expert coach, Mr.
That's right. I'm William Kelly.
William Kelly. Thank you. So, William, today we have a question come in. It's an anonymous question, and this person wants to know what's the best way of time management for a good work-life balance?
A good question. So in order to have a work-life balance, we kind of have to know what that looks like. A lot of people struggle with time management. And there's a good reason why. What starts to happen when people are, whether they're moving through their businesses or they have some other health goal, or they have these lives that include their business. And a lot of people have families, we have so many things going on in our lives, right? It's very difficult to find extra time for the things that tend to fall through the cracks, right? So when a person is really talking about what's the best way for effective time management, I think they're really trying to say, how do I not let some of this other stuff fall through the cracks so I can take care of it? And so it gets the time and attention that it needs in these other areas of life, or these other goals or endeavors that I have, these things I need to take care of. How do I make sure those things don't fall through the cracks, and that I'm actually putting in time and energy and effort to get them done? Another way of looking at this question is, how do I not let life just completely, my life and business and my other obligations and responsibilities just kind of consume me and squeeze out all these other things that I'm forgetting about, that I'm not forgetting about, but I'm telling myself that I don't have time to do. So the first way to deal with that and get better at time management is just, you have to step up and take charge and be willing to take charge of your calendar. You have to be willing to say, what are the things that I'm letting slip through the cracks? What are the things that I'm procrastinating about? They've got to go on my calendar. Whether you use a calendar system or whether you use Post-it notes, you've got to do something to take these things that you're procrastinating about and put them on a calendar or on a schedule or on a Post-it note with a date. You've got to commit. You've got to decide ahead of time, when am I going to make time to do these things that are not getting done? And understanding that there's not going to really be a work-life balance. I mean, that's sort of a misnomer. I like to look at it as work-life counterbalance, because sometimes we're going to need to be going all in on certain things for short periods of time while they get done. But it's also important to know that if you're out of balance and you're just going all in on something with no cognition, no awareness with no intention that I'm going all in for a certain amount of time because I need to get this done, that's an acceptable way to be sort of out of balance and be counterbalanced in your life. But it's up to you to be aware, to develop the self-awareness to know when you're out of balance and when you're pursuing something beyond the amount of time and energy and effort that it actually is requiring of you, and to be aware of, am I engaging and investing in one particular area of life, whether it's business or health even. Some people pursue health to the degree where it becomes an unhealthy part of their lives, to the detriment of their business and family, become addicted to their exercise routine. So it's being able to have that self-awareness to say, am I focusing so much attention and energy and time in one area of my life that it's actually to the detriment of other areas of my life? Being able to use that self-awareness to kind of either dial it back or dial it back, because when you add something to your schedule, it's going to require a time block, right? Which means other things that you normally do in that time block are going to have to go to another time block. We only have 24 hours in a day. Something's going to have to get dropped if you're hoping to add new things to your time block schedule. And you've got to put it on your calendar. You've got to set aside time, even if you don't know what you're going to do in that time block. If you know that there's an area of your life that needs attention, put it on your calendar. Time block time to focus on that area of your life. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your relationships, maybe it's finances, maybe there's something that you're neglecting. Even if you don't know what you're going to do in that time block on that task, block time for it and just sit with that time and figure out what you're going to do to to work on the issue in that time block. And before we go here, I want to point out how important it is to have a vision of where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish in all areas of your life. Most people, believe it or not, a lot of people I encounter don't have that. But you have to know what's important to you at some point in the future, 3, 5, 10 years into the future. What are my intentions? What are my ideals in business, health, finances, my relationships, spirituality? You have to know what you're aiming for, because that's going to inform the decisions you make in the moment, in the present, that are going to help you figure out what needs to actually go on your calendar so you're able to manifest that future ideal.
Yes, very true. Very true. Thank you for that, William. That was a fantastic share. So for the people who have been listening in, I'll quickly summarize what William just said for you guys. Main thing is, do not procrastinate. Make sure that you have an awareness of what is going on in your life, where you're falling behind, and what are your priorities. And finally, there are going to be times in your life where you have to go all in on one thing. And what that means is that the rest of your life will be out of sync. And that's just how it's going to be. So chaos in the short term can be expected. Thank you for that, William. That was brilliant.
Sure.
So with that, guys, thank you so much. If you have any more questions, click the link below. Tell us what you want to know about. What are your issues? We want to know, and we will help you answer those questions. So with that, guys, until next time,